My name's Miss B. Hanley, and I have here with me today,
I'm Miss Golden.
And we are your 7th grade English Language Arts teachers. And today we're talking about one of the books that we've assigned to our honors students called And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. And so today we're just going to be talking a little bit about the book, our thoughts on it.
So basically there's these 10 people that all get a letter which is like an invitation to this island, and it's Soldier Island. And they're all like, oh, heck yeah, free vacation, let's go. This is going to be awesome. But then they get there and there's this big house and they're like, oh, we're ready to party. But then a record comes on in the other room and it lists them all name one by one and a crime that they're accused of.
Not just any kind of crime, a murder.
A murder.
They're all accused of committing a murder. They realize why they're really there is to face justice for their crimes. They have mysterious deaths until there are none left. Let's talk about the author real quick. They call her the Queen of Mystery. She's written like hundreds of novels, maybe?
Something like that.
I
mean, they've got like a huge list in the front of like all her novels.
Oh yeah,
she's written
massive. Her most famous detective, Hercule Poirot. I can't say it.
He's French. Hercule Poirot.
Thank you. So you've read a lot of Agatha Christie.
Obviously, she has a ton. I wouldn't say I've read even half of her books.
Sure.
But I honestly didn't even read her until like I got to college. I was an adult at the time I read Agatha Christie, but I really wish I had started earlier.
Yeah.
Since she has so many books, I'm like, wow, this is actually really cool. So
yeah.
I really liked the books that I read from her. I don't know what your thoughts are on her.
I was a huge fan of Agatha Christie. It was the same experience. I didn't start reading her until I was in college. Like right after high school into college, somebody, recommended And Then There Were None to me. I read it and I loved it. And I did read one of her Miss Marple books.
Oh, okay.
Who's another detective that she writes. It's a female detective. And I did try to go into a little bit more of the series, but certainly have not read as much as she has actually written.
Wasn't her death actually a mystery?
Was it really?
That I heard that like her death that was actually like a mystery. Like she like disappeared.
Oh, now I'm gonna look this up. Okay, so she disappeared under mysterious circumstances from her home in southern England. Led to the biggest manhunt in British history for a missing person. 11 days later, she was found in a northern Spa town, claiming to be the victim of amnesia.
So she didn't actually die.
Okay, she just disappeared and
came back 11 days later and had no idea what happened.
Dude,
like just had like memory loss.
No way! That's crazy.
That she had like her own mystery. She had like.
How did she die though? Natural causes. Peacefully. On January 12th, 1976, at the age of 85. Okay, so she didn't have a mysterious death, but she did have a pretty mysterious
disappearance.
Disappearance. That's crazy, especially as like a high-profile author.
She's like the queen of mystery,
and she goes
missing for 11 days.
It's almost like it was like a publicity stunt, or
right?
something.
It almost feels like, and then she comes back and she's like, I don't remember any of it. It's like, oh, okay.
She probably was like, I need a vacation.
I know. I wrote too many books.
I need to go.
I'm going.
And no one needs to know where I am for 11 days. Let's talk about our overall thoughts on this book. When did you first read this? Describe how you interacted with this book.
I can describe the perfect setting because I read it during Hurricane Ian. All of the lights went out and it was storming outside.
Nice.
I was like, this is perfect for a murder mystery.
Yeah.
And I read the entire thing in like 3 hours. When the power was out, so it was like there's nothing else to do.
Like if
it
you're
is a
really
pretty quick read. If you like sit down and you're dedicated to it, it doesn't take too long.
No.
I read it in the one night that our power was out, and I was like, this is perfect.
That is a perfect setting.
It was. It actually like affected it. It felt like like the lightning outside and the storm and everything.
Like you're in the mansion
creepy.
with them,
yes.
watching what's going on.
And that's some of the best part about like Agatha Christie's murder mysteries is like putting yourself in the situation to try and figure out the mystery.
Right. So what were your thoughts when you first read it?
This is the perfect murder mystery. I mean, and people always say that. They're like, this is the murder mystery. And then finally I read it and I'm like, yeah, this is like quintessential murder mystery.
Oh yeah. I feel like there's been so much like in the mystery genre that have used like stuff in this.
Even outside of the murder mystery genre, there's like a ton of like video games, and anime and shows and stuff that have
we're totally
like
gonna talk about
referenced
that.
And then there are none.
It has been referenced so many times. But I do remember reading this book the first time and like honestly I had a hard time reading it. because there are so many characters.
That's true.
And I feel like a lot of them are similar. To me, most of the male characters are like the same. Their voice is the same. The way that they like respond to things is kind of similar. Maybe that's Agatha Christie's writing of male characters. I don't know, but it was hard to distinguish between them.
Yeah.
For me.
No, I agree. The only ones that I really was like, these are distinguishable are like the doctor and the judge, because they're like, they have titles.
Yes.
So it's, sorry, but your entire character is now your title, and that's how I'm going to remember you.
Right. But it was hard to distinguish for me. Even as a young college student, I still had a hard time. Like, I'm not going to spoil it, but when I got to the end, I had to go back and reread because I feel like I missed something when I finally found out who the murderer actually was. I was like, wait a minute. Because I did try to, I felt like I tried to solve it on my own and be like, okay, who was it? Who can I determine? And I wasn't able to figure it out until I read it the second time. When I was like, oh, there's so many clues.
Really?
That's who it is.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. I felt like after reading it the second time, I was able to pick up on it a lot more quickly.
That's cool.
So it's almost like one of those books that you can go back and reread and have like a different experience. I think, honestly, all of the reviews I've ever seen of this book have all been positive. I don't think I've seen any negative reviews about it. Let's talk about her other works. You've read her other stuff. How does it compare?
Okay, yes, I do still have a positive opinion of the book.
Okay.
However,
I
have a much more positive opinion of her Poirot.
Okay,
novels.
yes, true.
I really missed the presence of a detective in this book. Like, I wanted somebody to be there putting together the pieces and then have that aha moment at the end, sort of like oh, look how clever the detective is, he put all this together. Because, I mean, maybe some people had theories and they were able to figure it out. I wasn't. So I was like, I want the detective character there to actually be like
kind
a
of lead
stand-in
you through the mystery.
to lead me through it. Yeah. And I feel like maybe it would have also made it a little easier to read. The novel I read with Poirot was Death on the Nile.
Okay.
And I felt like it was actually like a cozy mystery. Where it was like, it almost felt like you could like curl up by the fire with it and be like, oh, like this is nice and cozy. Even though
like
it's a murder
stress.
mystery. Like low stress, like he's figuring it out and we're going through it with him. I also just love Poirot as a character. He's such a cocky kind of detective. Like he literally is like, look how clever I am. I'm such a great detective. And I'm like, yeah, you go, Poirot. And I just love that about him.
But this one is a lot more depressing and sad. Even the characters themselves are not nice people.
Exactly. It's that some of them are guilty. And like are
straight
bad people.
Guilty.
It's like all these people are there for a reason. So you know these people are like not the best people. Hard to, you're not really supposed to sympathize for any of them. Maybe you do. But
at the end, I don't think you're supposed to. At the end of the book, I don't think you're supposed to feel bad for any of them. Let's talk about the problematic stuff. I feel like we should start with the book's title.
We should probably start with the book's title.
Okay, so our edition of the book, obviously, the current title of this is And Then There Were None, previously published as 10 Little Indians. And the original title with what it was published had a racial slur. Obviously, 10 Little Indians is not good either.
They
obviously
changed it twice.
They've changed it more than once. And the first title was extremely... I even read articles that said it was problematic for the time period.
Really?
Yes. Even back in 1939 when they published it under that title, there was flack. Like, people were criticizing it and saying that it shouldn't be that. And so I feel like that was the push for the initial change.
That's true.
And then slowly, as political tides started to change even more, they changed it again. People thought different things. People had different attitudes about different things. And I'm glad that they changed it.
Right. Yeah.
I'm glad they changed it both times.
It makes perfect sense even without it. So it wasn't necessary for it to even be
that title. Absolutely. Absolutely true.
Before we move on, are we going to talk about the use of queer?
Oh, yes. Let's do that. One of my students, I think, counted how many times.
No.
And I think it's something like 30 times.
Wow.
And they don't mean queer like the way we mean queer today. they mean queer as strange or weird.
That's the difficulty with reading something that was written at a different time period.
Yes.
Is you don't know the full intentions
You don't know
of
what
the
they
language.
are actually trying to say.
By straight, they mean like he's not like right in the head.
Right in the head, right?
Yeah.
Normal, mentally stable.
The conclusion I came to was
Yeah.
that every time they used it, it was like old British language.
Old British language. Queer. It's very queer.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the fun stuff. This is the adaptations. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen an adaptation of And Then There Were None?
I have actually not seen an adaptation yet.
I haven't either. I have not seen an adaptation either. There are several though. Because it's such a popular book, there's been a lot of adaptations of this book. The first one that I want us to react to, this one from 1945, so very shortly after the book was written.
Oh, yeah.
They made a movie of it.
Black and white.
So yeah, it's in black and white. I actually haven't seen this whole thing all the way through, so I don't know if it's how true to the book that it is. Oh, and then they have the 10 little Indians they have it as a song. And he's singing a song. Oh, that's crazy. I didn't even know that. That is different. But that's what I think goes to show about the difference between like reading something and watching something.
Right.
They have to do different things to keep your attention in a movie that they wouldn't necessarily have to do in a book.
Yeah, they can't just like show
you
the
plaque
picture with the poem, because
right,
then you just sit there like reading it.
This, in comparison to the black and white film that we just kind of peeked at, this was in 2015. It's a mini series, so it means that it is like episodes. But the trailer alone looks like a legit horror movie.
That's
I'm
what
not
they do.
joking.
They don't
Look at
get
this. It's like seriously scary and intense. Yeah, this makes way more sense.
Yes. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Rogers.
But look, they have the whole island. Look at they got the
10 little soldier boys went out to dine. One choked his little self, and then there were 9.
Look at him choking.
Oh, he's putting him in a cast?
I mean, for real.
You see, there were 10 of us, and now
He looked like he was like legit dying. I did not think that was the way in the book.
No, he like just keeled over in his chair.
Someone's coming for us.
It looks way more intense.
I mean, I'd still watch it.
The last thing I want to talk about is the 2005 video game.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, look at
The
that.
train.
From 2005, that is not bad. It makes me wonder how much it cost to make this game. But also, why is there a kid?
Who is this kid? What?
This
Who
is
that?
I don't know idea. This is the story of the video game. This is not actual, I mean, some of the gameplay, I guess.
Her hair is like a hat.
I feel like I could be her for Halloween.
Heck yeah.
I want to download it.
Yeah.
I really want to download it to see. But I think you are, it's like a point and click game where you are trying to solve the murder. It kind of looks like The Sims. Like an early version of The Sims, right?
That's exactly what it looks like.
Right?
Wow, like Sims 2.
Okay, so that's everything. I feel like the book does go by really quick. Like once you get into those little sections, those little chapters. But
Once the murders start, I feel like that's where it starts picking up.
oh yeah. Well, I feel like that's when you start to get more and more clues because the people start dying. After that first death, I feel like it's almost every chapter somebody dies.
Yes, it's very quick.
It's very quick. Thank you so much for watching our podcast on And Then There Were None. It was fun.
Thank you for having me on. It was so fun.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will see you in class.
Yes.
Bye. After reading the book, maybe you play the game to help you understand it a little bit more. I'm going to.
Yeah, that's what
I'm definitely going to play this game, so
yeah,
I hope you enjoy it.
I might try and watch the 2015 movie. I don't know about the 1945 one. It might be a little hard to get through.
I might watch that one just for fun, just to like make fun of it. But I actually do want to watch the 2015.
The 2015 one I would actually watch.
Because it looks like it's cool.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah. It's probably
scary.
going to be different. But if I go into it with the mindset like this is going to be different, then it might be